I'm just messing with you guys. This time I actually have audio on, and so I'll be actually giving you guys feedback. My camera's not gonna stay on the whole time. I don't feel like it, dude. I'm in my fucking robe. I'm going to bed soon. So yeah, I'm actually gonna give real feedback this time, guys, and I apologize for the first one. I actually put effort into the first one too, man. So this time around, guys, I'm actually going to be redoing it all. I'm going to be giving the same kind of feedback, but I'm going to condense it down. That was my first watch through of all of the replays, and I just wanted to give feedback. I think it's always helpful, and it's good for me as well because I get to analyze games and understand the format better. And so it's going to be in a slightly different order, but I will give you guys chapters this time so you guys can just skip straight to your game. And without further ado, yeah, oh, I will say, in the middle of this recording, I'm going to take like a 2-hour break to go watch the movie. I just want to start this so I make sure I do it tonight and I don't mess it up. And yeah, I can see, hold on, I can actually see that the audio of the game, hold on, there we go. This should be better. Okay, fixed. There we go. That should be better for audio. The game or the music is quieter, and I am louder. So sorry if the beginning was actually a little wonky, but yeah, we're gonna move into it. I'm gonna do everything based off memory basically, and give like little cliff notes on the replays because I don't want it to be like another hour and 40-minute time me just sitting there because I paused a lot throughout that last recording too. So like maybe it wasn't an hour. It was like more like an hour 10, hour 20. You can actually just check if you want with the clock in the bottom right. But yeah, I will be recording and re-uploading this all tonight. I'm gonna delete the other video because there's no reason to have it. So yeah, let me I'm gonna pause really quick and then we'll get into it. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, let's just start it off. This is orange soda versus okay, hold on, actually I do need to pause it again. So this is something that I did last time. I just don't know everybody's name. I don't know Arbelas coaches very well. Mainly because I haven't played with most of you guys before. So like I just don't know you, and I wouldn't expect you to know me either. So I'm going to pull up the dock on the side. Over here, move it over here. Yeah, just pull up the rosters basically. So yeah, oops. So it's gonna be hard. I gotta figure out like who is who again. You can drag pull really late. So yeah, it's Harv versus Orange Soda. Dragonite is the Terra Cap and Buzzwole is the Terra Cap. I actually remember this game pretty well. I will say off of leads, I actually would have preferred to see. Honestly, I wanted to see Primarina on my first watch through of this. I want to see Primarina as the lead. More or less just because it doesn't really have resists on this team except for Decidueye Hisui. But like even then, you know, it's still Moonblast. So it doesn't like they don't have like an actual resist to dual stabs. So I thought it would be a solid lead with Flip Turn. On the other end of it, if I were Orange Soda, I would have led with probably Barraskewda, just to get a free U-turn or Flip Turn off. But yeah, we're going to just go through this pretty fast. It was the Goldango versus the Cinderace lead. Cinderace obviously led the lead. I would not have, I don't think, Pyroballing off Rip here is actually good. I don't think over-predicting is bad either, but I do like the Pyreball off Rip. Maybe get a burn, but yeah, you want to feel out your opponent before you actually start making plays. Seeing the Dragonite in, you do need, in response to Dragonite coming in, you really need to address it immediately, because if this is some form of like a setup set or just a roost, like a sub-roost toxic extreme speed type of set, maybe not in this matchup, but that sort of deal, you need to address this immediately. So I like the Buzzwole play here. I did like that a lot. We saw the roosts, now it's just equal. We see both Terra Captains, so I know that this tears into a Fairy. This is a support Dragonite set, which I think is an okay set, but in this matchup here, where their main switch into your terrestrialized Dragonite is terrestrialized Buzzwole in order to check it. I think probably terrestrializing to a fire type would have been better here. Just it would have helped out on matchup with the Buzzwole, and it would have been able to resist Cinderace hits as well, because Cinderace was is just a big issue on matchup here, because you don't really want to let your Suicune keep taking hits and then you're forced to rest. And as we say later in this replay, the Suicune actually puts in a lot of work, so you don't really want to like let it chip down very easily. So yeah, we see the Roost. They're gonna both Terastallize. We're gonna see Fairy versus Water. So personally, I would have been wrong with that play, going Fire, but I still believe that a Fire in preparation for the Buzzwole would have been a little bit better because you have access to Fire coverage. If you were Fire, you could still run the same Toxic set, and once you see that this thing is Water, you should know by then that Suicune probably deals with it. Especially because you're a Rest, Calm Mind, Sleep Talk, Scald set. You know that Suicune beats this thing 1-on-1, especially because you just got a Toxic on it as well. So yeah, I would have liked to see Terastallize into a Fire type here, but Fairy wasn't bad. We'll see that it ends up working out pretty well, but I think a Fire type would have just been a little bit better. It also gives another Fairy resist. I know obviously switching the fire type into the Water type isn't the best play, but Primarina wants to click Fairy moves more often, I feel, than Hydro Pump, just because it's guaranteed damage. But anyways, we can keep moving on. Yep, we see we trade some Toxics going on here. Heal Bell reveal this early is really solid, just because yeah, I also wouldn't have expected Water, so don't even worry about that. But yeah, Roost Toxic Heal Bell is we see that this Dragonite is immediately just trying to be a support bulky Fairy set, which is solid, which is, yeah, it's a good set, but I don't know if it was great here, considering that Buzzwole was having to be more of a defensive role rather than an offensive role. So you were only going Fairy in order to deal with like Dragapult maybe, but Dragapult, again, if it's special, it's just clicking Ghost moves. So I wouldn't have worried too much about making Dragonite my Dragapult check, because you don't really have Fairy coverage either, so you can't really take advantage of offensive Fairy. I'm a big fan of Terastallizing into a type where you can work physical and, offensive and defensive, so at least some coverage. But yeah, we see an Ice Punch come out. It's just Chip, so by seeing the Ice Punch there, we actually can already tell that this Buzzwole is not prepared to deal with a Fairy Dragonite. So we know that later on in the match that Dragonite will always be good versus Buzzwole. We out heal it, and we will always be able to Toxic it. So we're going to go a little bit faster. We see Glamora come in. I think Glamora switching was great here by Harv. That was a very smart play. You get hazards up, and since you know that this thing is not going to have a move to hit you, most likely, like it could be Earthquake in this matchup, but you're never touching Buzzwole at that point, right? So seeing that Glamora was actually really good versus Dragonite, very good hindsight by Harv there. We see a Heal Ball come out, probably just get a Spike up here, right? Yep, so you get a Spike up, very nice. Obviously, they're not going to stand with their Fairy versus your 130 special attack Poison type, right? So, yeah, Goldengo was like just a really smart switch in. You get to just offensively pressure the Glamora out of here, and the Fairy or the Steel Resist isn't looking too great overall on this team. I think it's just the Buzzwole. Yeah, Buzzwole's the only Buzzwole and Sandy Shocks. But so, yeah, we see Primarina come in. I don't know if I like the Primarina switch in. It's a good middle ground. You just kind of get to feel it out. But like you have, I guess Buzzwole's not very especially defensive, so it's probably fine because your leftovers Prim here. But it still does a lot of damage. And now that it's -1, you have no worries about switching out. So yeah, Prim worked really well there. Scald, no burn though. Oh no, there was a burn. A lot of Scalds in these replays that didn't get burned, so I expect them not to. But yeah, we see the switch out into Suicune. Alright, so here's where I had my first issue. Okay, that was a really unfortunate double for Harv, but it's okay. Maybe it was just incredibly smart by Soda. I don't know what's going through everyone's mind. So yeah, big U-turn here. So that is 33, and you go straight into Pult. If you got burned here, I think you might have lost the game. I don't know, but like knowing that later on how much Dragapult does with darts, I think getting Scalded there was a really risky play. You could almost always go into Primarina or even to Buzzwole just as a pivot because you can't get burned anymore and you'll resist the Scald. But we'll see. So we see Goldango come back out, probably just a U-turn, very nice, good U-turn. Keeping the pressure on the Goldango is huge, and I believe now it reveals that it is a Scarf versus the Cinderace. It is Scarf, so it does 55 to Cinderace, and Pyro Ball will drop it. Very nice. Like that was just textbook. That was really good by Cinderace. You probably could have went into Suicune, but you don't want it to get burned and take rocks and take Pyro Ball damage. So I like that. I like that play of just stacking the Goldango there and getting a free switch into Suicune instead. We see Primarina come on out. We see Rest from Suicune. Okay, so your Primarina here, if you're confident switching Primarina into Suicune, you have to make sure that you have a move to hit it. So we see, as soon as we see it Calm Mind and you click Encore, that is kind of unfortunate. Just knowing that Suicune's faster, I don't know if you speed crept like a slow Suicune or they just had some speed investment. but it is important to keep that in mind of it's important to keep in mind that they might also be a little bit quicker, and you need to scout the set out a little bit more. But I can't like blame you for going for trying to lock them into rest. So here's where my issue was. So they get second Calm Mind here, and you stay in the Moonblast. So I don't understand this play. So at this point, you see that it's starting to set up, and we're gonna actually see that damage right here, 15 damage. We know that this is not breaking. We know that your Primarina is going to lose this 1v1 here if it keeps going how it is. So you either A, need to keep up the pressure with Moonblast, or B, you need to be able to switch out and check it. Unfortunately, your prep did not allow for that. Your physical offense is currently Toxic Ice Punch, it's a Cinderace, or it is Dragapult, if you are physical Dragapult, which isn't known as of yet. But so you need to make a very important decision here on, which you do actually. You stay in Moonblast, I believe, right? So we see a Scald come out. I don't really like the Scald, but since you're faster, you're kind of making a play assuming they're going to Encore there. But Encore does not work versus Rest Talk. So you probably could have got away with another Calm Mind and then Scalded. On their Moonblast, you take 16 and you get dropped, which is kind of sucky. But now that you're awake with Suicune, Primarina is primed to click Encore. And I would honestly, yeah, now you switch them up a little bit, but it's okay. That's not like the biggest issue. It will lead to more counterplay. I think Suicune might have just won the game if you Scalded there. Maybe not, but it would have been in a great position at +3 special defense and plus what it would be 2 special attack. It would have been in a lot better of a position. See Sandy Shocks come on out on the Calm Mind. So here, for sure, we need to calc on this side, Harv. We need to calc how much our plus special attack Thunderbolt's going to do. If it's not two-shotting, we need to make sure that we're able to Volt Switch into a physical attacker, like Dragapult. I don't remember the replay exactly, so I don't remember exactly what we did, but yeah, so you see, it does 35, and they still encore, they're still encored into Calm Mind. I don't like a second Thunderbolt there. So you do good damage, right? But they just Calm Mind again, and they're guaranteed out of range of another Thunderbolt, and they just get a rest off now that Encore ends. So in here you Volt Switch, it's kind of like baiting them into the Scald. I like the play into Dragapult. I just would have liked to see it maybe like a turn sooner, considering how much damage we see here. It does, what is that, 45? Here it would have killed. Wait, that's after the second one. Yeah, so if you would have Volt Switched here on the, Volt Switched here, right? On the second Thunderbolt. Oops. Maybe it was the first Thunderbolt, sorry. I would have liked to see a Volt Switch into Dragapult on a turn where you knew it was going to have more Encore. Because then you just kill it, right? And look at all this, look at their Fairy type right now is D-Knight, in which you can always go Buzzwole on. I'm a little all over the place because I am late to my movie night, but that's okay. We're going to finish this replay. But yeah, I am a little, yeah. Let me just go back. Okay, so Thunderbolt here for damage, okay? Then I would have Volt Switched here instead of Thunderbolting. I don't, we'll actually see how much does the Volt Switch do here with +1 more special defense. So it does 19, so it would have done about 26, roughly. I'm kind of just guessing numbers right now. So if it would have done 26 here, it would have brought him down to about 40. Yeah, so Dragapult would have killed. That's what I meant to say. I meant that in the first video that I recorded without audio. But yeah, I do think Volt Switching instead of the second Thunderbolt was actually a better play, just because you know it's guaranteed into Encore, and after this next Volt Switch, it's no longer Encored, and so it can always just get a little bit of a rest off. So you could have basically confirmed killed the Suicune, but instead, the Suicune's going to be a little bit more of an issue. We're very happy we don't get Scald Burned here on the Rest Talk. This 51 damage, oh my god. And because you didn't make that Volt Switch play the turn earlier, you are going to have to stress about if they roll Scald right now, you lose Dragapult, and you lose so much offense. But luckily they rolled Rest instead. They decide to not sack it and end up going into Dragonite. And Dragon Tail is revealed as the last move. So now that we know that it's just Dragon Tail, we know that Primarina can always come in and pressure something by just clicking a water move. We know that from now on. So we get Dragon Tailed into our Buzzwole, which is fine for us actually. I'm sorry if it sounds a little one-sided. It's just that all the plays from Soda over here are just like pretty like solid textbook plays when you have a pretty linear game plan at this point in the game to set up with Suicune and just try to break through and then pivot out when need be. You're playing it really well. That's more or less, I'm giving instruction to the side that maybe needs a little bit more in the current position. Even though you're down a single Mon, you have great chip on everything. You've been doing really well in that. So I want to make sure you know that I'm not just trying to coach one person here. I do think you're just playing really well. And I think that Harv was very close to losing the game. Was very close. So yeah, we see the double into Decidueye Suian. And I really like the switch into I really don't like the switch in of Sandy Shocks on the good switch in of Decidueye Suian. If you expect a grass fighting, you need to start throwing out some haymakers. You got to start doubling it to like Cinderace. Because like even if you get the play wrong, right, and they Dragon Tail again for some reason, which they wouldn't. I don't think Dragon Tail was gonna be like the biggest play here. I think you could have. So yeah, you go Glamora, you get Dragon Tailed out, then you go into Buzzwole. I do think that going into Cinderace on this turn was actually going to be very beneficial, because I don't understand why the Suicune would have pivoted into the Buzzwole, because Buzzwole could still have close combat and just kill the Suicune. But instead you go into Sandy Shocks, which could have been in preparation for the Suicune being like coming in. But again, I think that just going overall into a more offensive threat that can pivot in, even if you get the play wrong, you don't lose your Mon, is the important thing. I don't think you lose your Mon, because it's not offensive Dragonite. I don't think Dragon Tail kills him 45. But anyways, we're in the situation where you have to Volt Switch out. A little scary, but yeah, we know it's Boots, so we know it's not Scarf. We go right into Cinderace now. But they get rid of their hazards first. So Powerball's going to do so much, but instead you do 81, right? 86 with fucking U-turn. That's so much damage. This mon's crazy, dude. I love Cinderace. But anyways, really good U-turn. Go into Dragapult. Perfect. Literally perfect, Harv. Unfortunately, this DOD was just not long for this Earth. It was just here to get a little bit of chip. But yeah, really good going back into the Dragapult, because you know that this can't do anything, and they don't really have a great switch into another U-turn. I would have liked to see... probably just a Dragon Dart instead of a U-turn, just because this thing was low enough that it died to anything on switching. I think it was probably better just to do darts. Even if Dragonite comes in, then you just U-turn on the Dragonite, and you would have been fine. But either way, it's fine. So we see Cinderace come back in. I love the Barraskewda. Barraskewda was perfect here. There's no great like water move switch-ins. If you look at everything, everything's low. So boom, Buzzwole comes in. Oh, sorry, that's a good switch-in. I don't understand jetting there. I think Jet, I think they actually talked about it in chat, is Jet was in preparation for Sucker Punch. Let me see. Maybe it was in a later turn. But yeah, flip turn. You see damage. That was a fine switch in to Decidueye. You kind of had to make a middle ground, but I think it's a solid middle ground. I can't complain about that. Right, we see triple arrows come on out. 37 damage is really good. We see that it is dying to the next one, but we are slower. We have to keep that in mind. Lower defense is also nice. We see Suicune come on in and get sacked. Probably the best time for it to get sacked at this point. Not really doing much. It's not going to get a rest off versus anything. And even though there's 6 Pokemon alive over here, everything's like low except for Sandy Shocks. So we're looking very interesting. Power Gem. I think that was a really risky play. That was really risky, because you know this thing isn't choice locked. And like, oh dude, that's so risky going to Decidueye here. But yeah. I think just going into Barraskewda was a little bit risky, but you always have a heal ball in the back, so you don't have to worry about that at all, or not at all, but you don't have to worry about it as bad. And Glamora, at this point in the game, is just like staying until it dies, I think. So here's the defog. Power Gem kills now. Probably just go Barraskewda. Yep. And so now you're in the same situation where there was a T-Spike up, like, right? So now you have another T-Spike up. But instead, Decidueye is dead instead of Barraskewda just being poisoned. That's why I think going Barraskewda first before this guy was probably a better play. This guy died for no reason, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah. So, good kill here. Another T-Spike up. That's heavy T-Spikes, but that's okay. Poison Jab. Really, really solid Poison Jab there. I didn't think that would kill a Primarina from there. But hey, you did, and that was just really solid. From Harv's side of that, it's kind of hard to just assume that's gonna happen, and Buzzwole's so low that yeah, it was kind of hard. But you had to scout it. So we see a Jet come out. Cinderace does go down. Yeah, Barraskewda is primed to win. So here, that right there, that switch is really rough. I think you had to go for a poison jab kill, whether it was a crit or if it just killed, but I think you would have needed a crit. Yeah, that was the only... I think that was kind of nail of coffin, because now Bustle gets to heal, and Bustle does just get to... If it wanted to, it could just sit there. But, I guess we go through a little bit more. We see a nice Toxic onto Dragonite, and knowing that that Soda wanted to... Oh, wait, never mind. It was Dragon-tailed. Wow, you just got unfortunately Dragon-tailed. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If it would have went to Dragapult, I guess Bustle would have just came back in. But yeah, Sandy Shock's coming in. It's just going to clean the game up. You just get the chip that you needed. Bustle's back in. They're forced to roost, so you get a free switch into Sandy Shock's. And it is just in range of Poison plus T-Bolt. We see the Dragon Tail come on out. Dragapult's last mon in. And Barraskewda, unfortunately, cannot beat a 70% Buzzwole. They actually... Yeah, I don't understand the sucker there. I guess that's like... I don't know. I don't know if I understand the sucker, personally. I think I would have just darts, because it's like... You know, what's... Like, if they don't Aqua Jet, then you die. If they do Aqua Jet, your sucker doesn't work. And, like, you're gonna win with Buzzwole anyway, so you might as well just go for, like, the differential. But that's okay. Yeah, it's saying, did PJ never kill? Nope. They said nope. I think you just had to go for a crit there. Some points in Pokemon, it's just a lose-lose situation, and you gotta just hope for a little bit of luck. But yeah, we will see the Barraskewda will go down to a close combat here. But yeah, overall, I think that it was actually well played on both ends. There was a few plays that I didn't really like very much. Like, I think I don't think that Harv played well enough around the Suicune, but I also don't think that Soda brought in a Barraskewda nearly enough to help check everything. The set of this match is definitely the Buzzwole. I think Water Buzzwole was a phenomenal bring. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next game, but it is 9:10. I'm supposed to be watching a movie 10 minutes ago, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, so yeah, as you guys can tell from the timer at the bottom right, I just got to finish the movie. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, you guys got to deal with the music being down for a second. Alright, you can barely hear it, but you're not hearing the music. Alright, next up. We have, I believe both these guys, both their names are actually just their Discord names. It's Kerthwack and, wait, is this yeah, this is Kerthwack versus, Michael Druck, which is Michael Druck. Yeah, okay, cool. So it's Terra of Excalibur versus Terra, was it Cart? Hold on. Where's Kerthwack? Oh, he's right here. Oh, Terra Annihilate. Oh yeah, I remember. I literally, okay, yeah. Off lead here, I would have liked to see Enamorous Garchomp. Personally, I would have led Enamorous if I was Michael Druck, and then Garchomp if I was Kerthwack. But it ends up working out a little bit better for Kerthwack. I do remember this replay. Immediately, yeah, I would always click just a grass move there. There's literally no reason. What mon here is eating a grass move? There just isn't. Like, I mean, it's Jirachi. Jirachi's the only guy that would take it. Like, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure this is Scarf card too. That shit just did 50 damage. You know, obviously switch into, like, you always have Moltres, but it goes Garchomp. I don't know if I like the Garchomp. It's, like, bulkier because it kind of chews the, that close combat. You know, you get some chip on it, so now it's in range of the next card hit, which, you know, it's fine. You get your rocks up. Or you actually just go into Clefable. Yeah, okay. Probably could have just got his rocks up there, but it's okay. Yeah, going into Clefable. Clefable also works if Clef is the rocker. Yeah, so you do get them up right now. Jirachi comes on in, and you double into Moltres. Huge double into Moltres. On the Enamorous, because I don't think Enamorous has, like, all that much to hit Moltres, and Jirachi sure as fuck doesn't. So yeah, really good play. We're in a commanding position by Kerthwack off rip here. Michael is still doing fine with the via Tailwind up. It's going to make things like for Alligator a menace. So I would actually just go for Alligator here. I wouldn't even have U-turned, because that's really risky on losing, or getting burned. And there's the burn. I don't know. And then go into Regieleki. I don't understand the Regieleki here. Like, while Tailwind is up, you need to be putting on as much pressure as you can. In which for Alligator is putting on much more pressure than Regieleki, since, like, hazards aren't even up to hit the Garchomp. Like, Garchomp is just going to come in, and it's just going to get a free hit. So yeah, Flamethrower, and also just does so much Regieleki. The Garchomp comes in on the Wild Charge. So this is the most telegraphed explosion I've ever seen. When I watched it the first time, I said, dude, a Chad would go into Annihilate. But, you know, it's a little risky, so I don't mind staying in with Garchomp here. You do live, so, like, that's really solid. And you also get your Spike up. So you called the play correct as well. So when Infernape comes on in, is at 14%. Mach Punch comes on out. I like scouting it, scouting for it with Moltres. That's a really solid idea, as you do. And the Infernape just stays in and gets U-turned on. So here is where I have an issue, and this is where I think Michael loses the game. So, Michael, I'd say, by the way, for Kerthwack, that was just really well played. You scouted, and then you got momentum into something else. The Infernape cannot switch back in currently, and that's, like, an issue for it. But that's okay, because it's basically just a dead Pokemon now. So, you should probably just switch out, like, on the Annihilate, because it's like, okay, so Annihilate's in, and I click Mach Punch. What happens if this thing starts setting up like it does? It goes bulk up. Now, I can understand staying in once, for sure. I can understand staying in once, but again, you can't let Mons like this start going because they're not going to stop. Like here, it now gets another bulk up. Now it's at +2. What's your check to it right now? You know, this thing's 306. It hits 306. It's like really annoying to kill. So Enamorus is like the main killer right now. But Jirachi's burned, and if it's physical, it's not going to look too good. Click Toxic. I dig the Toxic. And then Rage Fist comes out, obviously is going to kill him. So here you go Enamorus, right? Yep. And you have to scout for the Terra. You know this thing is Terra, and you know the only Mon you have that's going to deal with it is a Fairy. So you kind of have to scout for it, which I don't think you did. But, you know, again, it's tough to scout for things like that. And then Annihilate just gets to get the kill. Baxcalibur comes in. Baxcalibur is also a physical Pokemon. And +2 bulky and Annihilate isn't going to be the best, so Earthquake's really strong. Yeah, Earthquake was huge. I don't know what the ground was brought for, but it ended up working out in this situation to stop the Annihilate. The issue is if you look at every Mon that's left, they are all in range of Kartana. So now Kartana just gets to click Leaf Blade. Letting the Annihilate set up for free was just a little rough. You can't really let Annihilate do that. It kind of relies on that. I don't even think it has U-turn either. It might. I don't think Primeape had U-turn. Maybe Annihilate got it. But again, you can't really give free turns versus a team like Kerthwack's where there's Mons that can just win. Like Annihilate could just win versus your team, especially because it's the Terra Captain. Kartana, we all know, can just win. You can't be given free turns like those Mach Punches. Those were lazy turns. You can't let that happen. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to sack versus something that can easily set up. There was no reason for Annihilate not to set up there. If you assumed it was banned in, what's it clicking though, you know? Is it clicking Close Combat? Then you go Enamorus. Is it clicking a Ghost move? Well, I mean, Enamorus, you could still just go to Enamorus. Your boots, you're going to be at 100%. You'll be fine. Rage Fist isn't boosted yet. They've not been hit. So I think you definitely needed to go and play around that a little bit better. I think that was just the main crux of your play. I just don't like how the Infernape was played overall. I think the Infernape was in too often to be... it was in too many turns clicking wrong moves. Like, just the entire time. Every time Infernape came out, it just felt like it was the wrong Mon to be out. Gator, Infernape, you switch into Infernape here, you could probably just go Jirachi, you know? Like if you get knocked, you get knocked. You can't really do much about that. But like it's better than your Infernape taking 50. And then you close combat here, which is fine. A good play. You know, you get your damage onto the Garchomp. It's bulkier. But now you're getting low, so you switch out. Again, let's see. Next time Infernape comes in. It comes in versus Garchomp. After spikes, yeah, it comes in after Garchomp, and once it switches in, you know if you're throwing out Infernape right now, that means you know this is the last time Infernape's coming in. Because either A, it's going to hit Garchomp and then, Rough Skin's going to kill it. Or B, you're going to have to pivot out and this thing is probably never coming back in at like 2%. No, there's a spike up. No, it just dies. It actually just dies. So you know this is the last time that this guy is coming down. So I think just going into Enamorus here. But like I don't know why we didn't go Enamorus here on the Garchomp. After Regieleki explodes. It was honestly just kind of a free kill at that point, you know? It was a free kill that also didn't risk your Enamorus, and you got, it didn't risk your Enamorus, and you got to save health on your Infernape. But instead, Moltres has just too easy of a time switching in. you know. Now you lock into Mach Punch, and now you're getting rolled up. So yeah, it was your Infernate play is what lost you that game. Dude, this is insane. When I recorded this the first time, I had hiccups the entire time through. This is so annoying, because now I have hiccups again. That's so stupid. Give me a second. Okay. There we go, and we're back. Holy shit, this is 30 minutes long already. But yeah, I would say from on Michael's end, I would just be more careful with your like when you're in clicking moves that aren't gonna lose you like momentum, and like you basically got you got snowballed. You made one bad decision and you stuck with that, and it just kept becoming a worse and worse decision as the Annihilate started setting up. As soon as Annihilate cleaned up enough mons, all of your grass resists were gone. Every mon died to grass or spikes. So I would say that was your biggest issue. Kerthwack, beautifully played. Yeah, you 5-0'd. Sick. You did great that game. I would say, I don't know, actually. You played, like, pretty damn well the entire time. The only play I would say is a little bit weird is the Garchomp here. That's the only thing. I would say, I mean, you always have a Moltres. But then again, you're scouting. You know, they could have Stone Edge or Thunder Punched, or just U-turned on the Moltres, and then you'd be in a worse spot. So maybe Garchomp was the correct play. It's just, you know, whatever you expect them to click. But again, you know, great played. You got your Clef in, got your rocks up. It could have got a little dicey, but maybe this is unaware. Like assuming the Enamorus is in, but Enamorus came in, clicked Tailwind. Smon should be clicking a little bit more than Tailwind, but you know, again, well played by Kerthwack and Michael Druck. Just that one mistake with your Infernape, you know. I just think your Infernape could have been played a little bit better. Next up, this is King Whacka. I think it's just Whacka versus Red Peas. Who's Red Peas? I'm sorry. Again, I don't know everybody. With the Coco team, it's right here. It's Ollieboy. Ollieboy. Oh yeah, I was talking to Ollieboy earlier in chat. Terra captains are Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and it was Arcanine Hisuian. Yeah, it was Arcanine Hisuian. I thought Spectre would be a better captain, but you know, this guy still works. Yeah, it still works. But yeah, for leads here, personally, I would like to see Hydra versus Lando is the lead that I would have assumed. I believe I said that in my original video as well. And this is the only leads that I predict correctly on both ends. This is the only game out of all of them. So, but yeah. We see the lead, honestly, Lando, since there's no ground resist, this is the only ground resist, you should just preserve your Lando here, and just switch into, like, Coco, switch into, like, Pharaoh. Just don't be in with Lando here. But you take the Lando and you do U-turn with a lot of damage, 55. I think this might be leftovers, but again, you kind of need to keep your Landorus healthy, considering of how good it is in this matchup. You know, look at all these mons that are just weak to ground. 1, 2, 3. I keep discrediting Slitherwing. Slitherwing is a ground resist. It's a solid Lando switch in as well. It's just that you want to keep it healthy and then just gain momentum off of the Slitherwing because you're faster. But anyways, you go into Coco here. Yep, good play. Just a free U-turn on the Iron Treads. Yep, really good play. You go into whoever you want realistically here. You decide Urshifu Rapid Strike, which is solid. You know, look at all those water resists. Oops. Yeah, there's like no water resist on this team. So Hydra gets sacked. Hydra just dies. This early losing Hydra is awesome for Red Peas. For King Whacka, I think that just had to be the play. I think you probably should just click Draco on turn 1 though instead of Dark Pulse, because like what is Draco not hit that Dark Pulse hits? You know, like oh you get like 20% on Coco. You don't even know what kind of Coco this is yet. So you might as well click Draco and just try to get your damage, especially because of your Scarf. You might as well just get your chip off, you know? If you would have lowered the Lando even more, it would have been really good. So I think that would have just been a better turn 1 play, but up till then, you know, these are all like, you know, pretty easy plays. You know, oh, Electric type is in, I go into my Ground type. They get you turned on, it's kind of what happens. Maybe Helmet Iron Treads would have been better in this matchup. I don't actually know what the item is at the moment. I think it might be Shuka. But yeah, Urshifu comes in and just gets to click Surging Strikes and kills. Again, I think this is just the correct switch in. Knowing that which Terra the Hisuian Arcanine is, I wish you would have gotten this in sooner. to Terra. So yeah, G-Bro comes on in and just gets a free side shock off. Yeah, if you would have Draco'd, the Lando would be dead right now. So, but again, like I said, hindsight, it's just something to think about more. What does Draco not hit that Dark Pulse does? Like, there's nothing. What does Dark Pulse hit that Draco doesn't? Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But yeah, no Dark Resist. Or there's 2 Dark Resists. Or there's, like, what? They're gonna go with the Pharaoh on a Draco meteor? Be my guest, dog. Be my guest. Come take a Draco. But yeah, good side shock on the switch-in. You're kind of forced out here into the Slitherwing, which makes sense, yep. Lose your leftovers, which is fine. Easy momentum here. Yeah, easy U-turn, do your 20. And you go into Iron Treads? No, you actually go into G-Bro, but I like that. I like G-Bro instead of Iron Treads, because then your Iron Treads gets to save HP, and there's easy switch-ins. There are easier switch-ins to Iron Treads, but it's really hard for this team to switch into G-Bro, so I like that. U-turn out, yep, go to Kirim. Nice, because you live every hit anyways in your specs, so you might as well just get your hit off here. That does a lot of damage, but not too bad. This thing is specs, does 59. We see another one. The crit kind of sucks, because it means that this thing has to switch out a turn earlier, but that's okay. From that damage, you should now know that it is specs, and you should be going into Arcanine. Which you do. Very nice. Lower the attack. Ice Beam does not do enough, but it does fucking 37 for some fucking reason, dog. Now, I don't know why you didn't Terra here. Perhaps you were just trying to keep it in the back. You would have still took the same amount of damage. I just don't know why you didn't get your water resist now. You morning sun up, makes sense. You know, just start healing up. I don't really like healing there though, because you're asking to get crit like you just did. Like, if it's doing 39, right, and you heal up for 50%, like you're little by little getting your HP back. You could have just killed this Kirim. Instead, your Arcanine would have been lower, but you wouldn't have had to worry about this Kirim for the rest of the game. The Kirim, I do like just clicking Ice Beam. Straight up, I think Ice Beam. Just mashing is the best. On the heal, you go Lando, which is good. You get the Intim off as well. Big Earthquake. There's a crit, but that's okay. Yeah, it's all good. You hard into Coco, which I think is, again, still the play on the Slitherwing. So no, in prep here, what you should be thinking about is, what are all my moves, and do I need all of them? You've only clicked U-turn so far. Coco is an 18-pointer. There's reasons that this guy is 18 points, not just U-turn and being fast. You need to start clicking some strong fucking moves. I understand U-turning expecting like the Iron Chest to come in maybe, but you should maybe have Brave Bird. I think if Brave Bird was on this moveset, this game would have ended a lot sooner. And if you did have it, you should be clicking it in front of the Slitherwing, just because if this is your switching to the Slitherwing, you can afford like a turn with the Tusk coming out, because you have switch-ins. Like, you can just go Lando or Ferrothorn. Like, you have mind games between them. So I do think you should be clicking, you should have had Brave Bird on this set and just dropped this thing. But you didn't. It's okay. You turn out into Ferrothorn, which is, it's fine. As you get U-turn on, take 20. Back into Arcanine Hisuian, very good on Whacka's place. Very good. This thing should be switching out for sure. Or should be Rapid Strike in. So here's where the master plan is unleashed. So this is Helmet Arcanine Hisuian, turning into a water type to bait the Urshifu, but the Urshifu was smart enough to click close combat instead, because it's still probably killed. It's still probably just killed, which was, solid. 55. Maybe not killed. Probably would have done about 83 or so. I don't know. I'm making up numbers, but I'm guessing. Close combat. Yep. Rocky Helmet. And you should kill him right now. But you Morning Sun, I don't understand that play. You're healing a lot with this guy, but you should be claiming kills. You don't have to heal when everything's dead. And when this Mon is Intim Water type Rocky Helmet specifically for the Urshifu, you should be trying to kill the Urshifu. So maybe you didn't have a move to hit it, but if you didn't, then this is a bad set. This is a bad set, because if your check has to be able to check them out, not just switch into it, not just Will-O-Wisp it. You got to try to kill it. I mean, if you do Willow, it's crippled for this game, but it's still strong, It's still gonna be critting with triple Surging Strikes. So, good switch here on the Kirim on the Morning Sun. Now you just click Freeze Dry. You have to Draco. Wow, holy fuck. Okay, wow. I guess, yeah, Draco was probably good enough. Actually, it might just kill Arcanine. Arcanine's not very bulky, so I could see that. Just killing. Yeah, losing the Spectre, I don't agree with this play at all at this point, man. If you're expecting a freeze dry or something, I think you just sack G-Bro at this point. G-Bro's going to come in at about 56, and typically it wants to be a pivot anyway, so I would have pivoted and see what they lock into. G-Bro should live in Ice Beam. It should live in Ice Beam. Definitely lives a freeze dry, no doubt in my mind. So if you're expecting freeze dry, then you should be going into G-Bro. But unfortunately, you go into Spectre. Losing that mon so early is so bad, unfortunately. So yeah, here's the G-Bro, and we sack Urshifu, because we know our Urshifu is no longer breaking this Arcanine. So yeah, that's a good sack. That's definitely a good sack there. Again, just click a poison move. Yeah, claim your kill. Lando is in now, and there are not great switch-ins. It's still Slitherwing, so U-turn's probably the play here, because you know Slitherwing's coming in. Very nice. Back into Iron Moth's fine. There's no fire resist, or there is a fire resist. It's Arcanine. The poison, I guess you just click a poison move here, right? Because if G-Bro, I don't know, probably just click a fire move. Because this thing's not staying in. Slitherwing's not staying in. If you click a fire move, then Arcanine choose it. But if you click, only one mon choose a fire move, two mons choose your poison move. So actually click fire move here. As you click Fiery Dance, which is solid, 37. No boost, kind of sucks. You sack Kyurem here? Oh, you don't sack it, actually. Let's see. That Draco miss sucked. I don't like switching into Slitherwing here, because you're giving up, like, your actual only ground resist. I don't think Slitherwing is the sack here. If you're sacking anything to the Kyurem, you should probably be going into your Arcanine again. Just because it's like, you know, hey, if they click Draco, there was no better switch in. You might live it, but you probably won't. But yeah, you need to be trying to preserve those guys. But it ends up working out for you. Big doubles, bunch of doubles. Good job getting a spike up. Solid. You know, these are just normal plays. Yeah, normal. Get you turned out into your steel type. Yep, pretty normal. Ferrothorn comes on in, gets spun on. So I don't really understand. I mean, I guess spinning is fine, because like Lando could also come in. But I think that just clicking like a ground move is probably the play there, because you are already Quark Drive speed, so you don't need a speed boost right now. You are just faster. I think just clicking like a ground move is the play, because no mon wants to take it except for Lando, and Lando's only at 25, and then you just click a steel move, right? So I think you need to start putting on some pressure rather than just removing the spike, because like the spike isn't helping all that much at the moment. You can play around a spike. So you go into Slitherwing, get a Leech Seeded, it starts to heal right back up. Morning Sun, both healing up, gets another spike up. Coco comes on in. Good U-turn. That's a big crit, putting it at much lower percent. Quark Drive comes in. Now you can Rapid Spin. Yeah, Rapid Spin on the Switch is okay this time around, just because terrain is gone. So Leech Seed comes on out. Whatever. Yep, you have to start breaking the Ferrothorn down. Both of this is correct in my opinion. Ferrothorn shipping it down. I would be switching out here. Yep, Lando comes on in. Arcanine is indeed slower, but I don't know what this Landorus' set is. And you're -1. But you kind of have to go into Slitherwing. No, wait, no, you live a hit. No, you stay in here. Sorry, you stay in here for sure. Click a fire move, right? You go into Slitherwing. You get that play correct, but again, I keep saying this. You gotta start killing things. You're not killing anything. You're just switching. You're on the defense and healing like a bunch. You're gonna get whittled down at one point. This Kyurem's just gonna come in and cook another move. Shit like that is gonna happen. Coco comes on in, eats the U-turn. G-Bro comes in. I think Iron Shards is probably better there, just to come in and click a ground move. Because now Coco dies, Kyurem dies, Iron Moth dies, Ferrothorn gets 2-shot now, which is big, and then Lando dies to the steel move. So I think clicking Earthquake or Headlong Rush or whatever it is, clicking your ground or going into Iron Shards there for free and clicking a ground move is definitely smarter. Thunderbolt, good play. You need to Ollie needs to start breaking down everything else as well, and Coco goes down. Knowing this, now you know that you're not going to be getting your Quark Drive that often anymore, so. But this Iron Moth is, and this Iron Moth is scary. You got to be careful with killing Pokemon if they're ready to be set up to win the game. So Arcanine is your only switch in here, but you did sack, and they got the boost. So now you have to outspeed it. right? You have to outspeed it or live a hit. I don't know if I don't know how much Iron Moth poison move does here, but I would just click it straight up. Even if Iron Moth dies, actually wait, no. No, that's 342. Never mind. Ignore me. Nope, you don't sack Iron Moth here. Yeah, you probably just switch. But you stay in and click Fire Dance at 67. Actually, if you had a poison move, that kills. But you might just, if you're Scarf, then you definitely just stay in and hit. If you're Specs, you should stay in and kill it. But yeah, we'll see another special attack raise and big Stone Edge kills. Okay, that is, that's fine. Now that this thing is low, wait, Kirim's the switch in here? I guess Kirim is the switch in, right? But if this thing is extreme speed, you just die. So, yep, pressure, click freeze dry, it just dies. You probably could have just clicked Ice Beam, to be honest, but it's fine. Iron Shreds comes on in. You need this alive. You can't kill Slitherwing. Neither of these guys are gonna kill Slitherwing. So you probably just need to go Ferrothorn here, or you go, fuck. So if it depends on what you're predicting. If it's a Steel move, you go Ferrothorn. Actually, give me a second to think about this. So if you go, because in this situation they can click either. Realistically, they could probably just click Rapid Spin. So I would probably have to go Lando here, get the drop, get the attack drop, and then I don't know. It's really hard to beat Iron Shreds here. Iron Shreds is just too fast. I think it's just really hard to win this endgame. You have to play perfect, in which you have to call which move they're clicking here. If it's a Steel move, you have to call Ferrothorn. If it's a ground move, you have to call Lando. Call Lando, and it is a Ice Spinner. It's an Ice move instead, which, unfortunately is going to kill Lando. You go into Barrow. This is the play I was thinking as well, so I probably would have lost this too. Yep. You get on in there, protect here for sure. Oh, no protect, you Chopple. Oh wait, then you kill with a Gyro Ball, right? Please Gyro Ball, please Gyro Ball. Cool, Gyro Ball kills. And then, yeah, so, yeah, you can't heal up. Okay, so here's what you do. Wait, oh, it's not protect. I really thought it was protect. Whoops. Yeah, say you misplayed there and sacked Lando. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just tough to call that play correct, because if they click the ground, if they click Ice Spinner versus Ferrothorn, they just click Ice Spinner into ground move and it kills, right? If they stay in with Kirim, or if you stay in with Kirim, then you never kill Slitherwing. I just don't think you could have won this endgame. I think King Whacka just played it really well. What ended up leading to this was just not. I actually think you clicked U-turn a little too much. Your Coco only clicked U-turn that whole game. Your Coco clicked 3 U-turns, in which you probably could have. I think you should just start clicking some better moves. Like, you just start attacking. Like, I don't know what your full set was, but yeah, you needed to start getting some actual damage on this team for sure. You allowed their bulk to pivot around too much. If you would have took advantage of it, I don't think they stood a chance. I don't think Whacka stood a chance. But Whacka did play it correctly. Because you weren't punishing that, Whacka played well and was able to chip your team down first. So, yeah, overall, I think pivotal moments. Let's see, what's a pivotal moment here? Oh, yeah, losing, let's see, the Draco. Where is it at? Let's see, where was, there. That Draco right there was, crazy. But again, I think Whacka should have started by just cooking Draco with Hydra. But yeah, good win to Whacka. Was it 4-0? No, 2-0. 1-0? Fuck, I actually don't remember. It was a 1-0. Good 1-0 win by Whacka, and we'll move on. Alright, EGA the Hydras versus Panda. So okay, so this is the Panda Man versus, is this Davey? I think it's Davey. Yeah, versus Davey. Okay, this game, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we're just gonna play through it, and I will tell you where a mistake happened. Hyper fast. Actually, we can probably just play it on normal. Okay. That was your first mistake. So, Galvantula versus Lando. Lando by itself is a really strong Pokemon, but it's not broken, right? It is really good. I still stand by that. This one is incredible. Nasty Plot doesn't make a difference. I don't think Nasty Plot did anything for it, personally. But, this one is still really good. But it becomes broken when you give it free moves. If you give Lando I a free turn, it's just going to end the game. And that's what you did. You set up sticky webs in front of a ground type, a ground flying type, a Pokemon that resists both of your stabs. You cannot touch this mon. So after you get webs, what are you planning on doing? Were you just hoping that they clicked Earth Power because you're Sash? I mean, you can't you can't just deal. You can't just hope, right? Substitute comes out. That was the mistake. Was getting us. Robin said GG. That is correct. It gets a rock polish off. Oh, and something to note, by the way, guys. In this matchup, you don't run Flame Orb Guts. You run AV Ursaluna. I used a lot of Ursaluna. This mon is crazy. This mon is broken. This mon is nuts. It's probably my favorite ground type in draft, straight up. But anyways, what you need to do here is you run AV bulletproof, because then Gengar never does anything. Never does anything. It has to trick you like a Specs. It has to. And even then you're just a 140 base attacker. Okay, whatever. You know, you're locked into one move, you're still clicking Facade, you know? Guts Flame Orb is really strong. It kills like everything, but you need to make sure you are prepared for threats. You don't. This is your Ghost Resist, you know? Like, a Ghost Poison just shreds your team. We don't get to that point, but just an instructive moment. Sandsear Storm, I have no idea what that move is. I have no idea, but it's strong as fuck. And Ice Punch comes on out. Lando's sub is gone. You just Ice Punch again. You have to sack Ursaluna here, which sucks. So now at this point, this thing is +2 with Sandsear Storm, and Sludge Wave. I think you need to go land or Torn here. Torn can live both stabs for sure and hit it back. That's what you need to do. You need to be able to hit it, and then if your Torn gets too low, you need to switch out, sack something else, and then go back into Torn in order to kill it. But instead you go Lele here, and you just, I guess, maybe, perhaps you didn't know that this thing, wait, no, they just click Sludge Wave. Yeah, you just died of Sludge Wave. Yeah, I don't understand that. Toxapex comes out, that's super dice, to a ground move, but we sub, I guess, in case. I don't really know why. Subbing there is definitely never, ever the play. Because if they click Haze, then you're no longer fast. Then they get to break your sub, and then you have to spend a time to go +2 speed again. So you outspeed the Torn. And even, like, yeah. You just don't need to. You just don't need to. They're going to break your sub anyways. Sandsear Storm, that's going to drop Pex. Yeah, for sure. Next mon, Torn in. Torn turns to a fighting type. I don't know why you turned into a fighting type. Why? You now are weak to its stab, right? You are now weak to its stab. And, like, so you don't resist the Sludge Wave, I don't think. You Focus Blast here, I don't know why you Focus Blast. Not really the play. And then now you just died to that move. Sludge Wave kills. Tangrowth in 2, I guess. Yep, dies. And then Galvantula can't even break sub. And so this was a 13-turn game. And yeah, it ends like that. I don't know what to say. This is Davey, I believe. Davey, I told you the one thing that you need to do different. Just don't sub versus the Pex, I guess. You just kill it. And then for Panda, I think you need to get your Torn in to even give yourself a fighting chance, rather than sacking Lele and then sacking a bunch of mons. You probably only had to sack one mon to this Lando, personally, or honestly. You probably just have to go Torn, hit it, right? Since Ursaluna broke sub, right? Yeah, Ursaluna broke sub. Here. Ursaluna breaks sub. Then you go to Torn, not Lele. You go to Torn, because Torn can now Hurricane it, and Hurricane will 2-shot from here. It'll hit you with Sludge Wave. If you get 2-shot, then you sack Galv. If you don't get 2-shot, actually, you probably don't even sack Galv. You sack something that can break sub for sure. So you probably sack Tangrowth. Yeah, you didn't need a Tangrowth in this matchup. Tank did nothing, like actually nothing. And then you go after you sack the Tangrowth, then you go back into Torn, and you've only lost 2 mons for it. So, but yeah, that's all I can really say about that game. So Robin versus this is hold on. This is Connor. So this is Robin versus Connor. Terra captains are let's see. It is Salamence versus where's Robin's team? Versus Superior that didn't come. I said this last time I recorded this. I don't understand why Torn is why Serp is your captain. it doesn't get Terra Blast, so there's really not a point to using it. You know, like you could Terra into a dragon, I guess, and then you get pretty strong dragon pulses. But probably should just chose like Shanpao or, you know, anybody else. But you know, you live and you learn. Uh, Maybe even like Rotom into a pure electric type. No, you can't do that. Never mind, cannot do that. Maybe Shanpao into a fighting or something. I don't know. Just not superior. I don't think superior is a good Terra Cap in this rule set. If we get Terra Blast, whole different story, then it's really good. But no Terra Blast, no good. Anyways, off lead here, I would like to see Iron Bundle Staraptor, personally, but we see Staraptor plus Gliscor. I'm pretty sure this is Scarf Gliscor, which is kind of a funny bring. It's kind of a funny bring. Personally, with the Staraptor, I'm just clicking Brave Bird. I'm pretty sure this is confirmed to be Scarf as well later on in the match. I'm just clicking Brave Bird here, and I'm making sure that Gliscor is not an issue later on. Like, it is not pivoting into, like, anything. Granted, your team deals with it really well, but I would have just liked to see some damage on it. Anyways, you just go into the safe play. Makes sense. G-King comes in, gets taunted. Okay, I do not... No, I like this. I like Meloetta going in on the Slowking. Salamence comes on in, takes the hit pretty well. You probably could have just went out Creamy instead, but it's okay. You lowered Spadef, kind of sucks. I don't know why... You probably could have stayed in with Meloetta. I know you want to keep your Meloetta around for the Iron Bundle, which ends up working out better for you. I just think you probably could have just killed the Mence, I think. If you would have just clicked like a stab after that defense drop, you might have killed it, to be honest. Because like stab, it would have done like... Yeah, I think you might have killed it. Anyways, we see GBs come in on the dark move. Makes sense. 306 to the 320. I guess Mence is faster. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah. I went through the same thing last time I watched this too. I forget about Terras a lot. But yeah, so GB's comes on out, choose that great scout by Robin. Robin here gets a straight shoe off there. It's 20 to Earthworm, which is nuts. I don't understand the body press there. I think maybe you're assuming Heatran comes up, but why are you not just clicking rocks here if Tran's coming out, you know? Why are you not just getting something out of it? Instead, you get flamethrowered and you lose all of your HP, and this thing is now back at full. So, like, you definitely should have just got your rocks up. So now you pivot into Slowking, you get flamethrowered, back to full with both mods. Cool. Heatran comes out with the Chilling Reception, really cool. Iron Bundle is in. This mod's nuts. I don't know why this guy's allowed. This guy's crazy. Protect, like, he's literally, like, hits as hard as Fluttermane and is a little bit faster with a different spread of bulk. Anyways, Hydro Pump. Yep, just keep cooking Pump. That crit really does suck in the long game, but it's okay. It's okay. This is Meloetta's job to come in and take these hits. He literally said, "Yum, that is your job." So Alcremie comes on out, take a Thunderbolt. That's good. I like this. You don't overpredict versus the Iron Bundle, because if you give it one, you know, if you just got pumped again and you U-turn, you lose the game. So I like that. That was a good Thunderbolt. G-King comes on out on the U-turn. I don't know why you pivoted into G-King here, but Tran comes on in. You always click like Chilling Reception here, right? You get taunted. That's okay. That's a reveal of taunt. Now here's where the game ends. Why did you stay in? Why did you stay in with G-King versus Heatran? You obviously don't have a way to hit it. You click Power Gem. Why are you in versus Tran and getting Magma Storm trapped? You just lost your G-King for free, for nothing. That at 14, it is going to heal up with leftovers. This thing is going to end at full HP. We'll just skip to it. Literally, it ends at full HP. You lost your straight up best pivot and your enabler for nothing, which is really unfortunate. That is why you lost this game. You sacked your G-King for no reason. Robin played that perfectly around the G-King there. Meloetta comes on in, takes 15 from the flip turn. Mence is in. Doubles into Iron Bundle on a U-turn. I do not know if I like that U-turn. If you get crunched, you lose your Meloetta, which sucks. But it ends up working out. I don't like staying in with Meloetta there. I think, yeah, Meloetta. And then you stay in here for the U-turn on the Iron Bundle. I think you need to switch out there to, like, anything else. Like, hell, just GVs again. Because even if Iron Bundle does come in, then you just pivot back into Meloetta. But you just took it took extra damage. So this is where I think it's confirmed that this is Scarf Iron Bundle, this is Scarf Staraptor, and this is Scarf Gliscor. I'm pretty sure there's 3 Scarfers. I'm pretty sure. Unless this is banded and this is banded and then this is scarf. I don't actually know. But let's see. Yeah, Blizzard comes on out, just drops it. Heatran comes on in. Seeing that the Iron Bundle swapped out there, it telegraphs to me that it is like as a spectator, I believe that means that was just a scarf. It was locked into Blizzard and you can't stay in. So Magma Storm comes in out, just kills the Orthworm. Nice. No rocks coming up. Iron Bundles back in. You protect a Scout. Very beautiful. Hydro Pump. You just go into Meloetta. Even if it dies to 2, you have to. Alcremie comes on in. Big Psychic. So here, there's no reason to stay in versus the Alcremie at all. You have free Heatran all day. All day you have free Heatran. So you Psychic again, which is like, okay, whatever, you're chipping it down. But it's out healing you by a lot. It's out healing you by about 23 or 27%. Now it's Calm Minding. You cannot give your opponent opportunities like this to randomly claim a mon. Luckily, Alcremie is always walled by Heatran, so it doesn't matter all that much. But at the end of the day, it was rough. So you click Magma Storm here, right? You can probably just Magma Storm there. Taunting doesn't do too much because it's like, okay, it's at +2, right? It's at +2. No, it's at +1. No, it literally just stays at +1. You might as well Magma Storm. It's a residual chip and it keeps the Pokemon in. It cannot switch, and then you just beat it from there. So I would just Magma Storm in front of the Alcremie instead of taunting. You would have caught the Gliscor and it would have done absurd amount of damage. Back in G-Weeze, very good. U-turn comes on out. Iron Bundle is in. You actually live a hit here, and you know that your Meloetta dies, so you should probably just stay in and hit it here. You sack the Melo, which is fine too. You know, it doesn't really matter. There's only 3 pumps left. Qianpao is in finally to click a fighting move. Alcremie comes on in. Choose the hit. You always just go back into Tran here. Always. Now you click Magma Storm. 100% click Magma Storm. All day. Always Magma Storm here. What you do? Look at that damage. 61. If you did it earlier, boom. This thing would have been down to 15 so much sooner. Yeah, good protect. Easy damage. It's going to be down to like 2%. Very nice. And then you just go into your G-Weeze. You know it's locked in. So free hit. Strange Steam. It did 18. You know, not that much. Double into Iron Bundle. I do like that taunt because Alcremie again still doesn't really hit. I think it might have Psychic, and if it does, then you need to be a little more careful. But it wasn't set up fully, or it wasn't set up at all to worry about. So yeah, taunt's fine. Again, here now that's taunted, you definitely just stay in it, hit it, which Hydro Pump missed, but I'm pretty sure you live that because the thing is Scarf, not Specs. And Strange Team does 51. That's the damage you needed. Now it can't just live a random hit. Yep, you live the hit. And you actually kill the Iron Bundle. Very good. Mence comes in, you stay in and sack. Very nice. And you actually just kill the Salamence too. Really good. Yeah. Gliscor comes on in. You get edged. It does not matter at this point. Now you have Poltegeist. It doesn't matter if that crits. That does not kill. And you get fast enough and you end the game. You did it in a little bit of style with a Giga Drain first. You could have just Shadow Balled, but it doesn't really matter. Boom. Realistically, okay, if you're the Welsh Weaviles here, you sack your Gliscor here, and then get your Alcremie at 73, and then you could probably sneak out one more kill for a 2-0 loss instead. But yeah, at the end of the day, in my original video, I said this. I believe Robin played the best game of the week. 100% Robin played the best of the week. I would give a gold star if I could. 100% best played out of every game. I very much so enjoyed... there's no music. But yeah, I very much so enjoyed how Robin played that game. Really solid. Kept win contents in the back. Only issue I had was perhaps the... I actually don't know. Not really. Not really any big issues. With the Welsh Weaviles, I do think the biggest issue lied in sacking your G-King for no reason. Maybe you just weren't thinking about Magma Storm, but yeah. No, losing your Soaking. If you get taunted, there's no reason to be doing all that. The over prediction with Orthworm as well. You lost momentum onto the Tran, which you don't really switch into well. Your fire resist is nothing because you tear it into a dark really early on. So Magma Storm's just free. But yeah, so I would say just be careful with just identify what mons can counter your broken Pokemon. Like G-King feels invincible, but it is unfortunately stopped when Heatran is able to trap it. Next up, we have Viettung 1560, that is their name, who has Chestnut as their Terra Captain, versus Skydrake, which has the Greninja Terra, which I don't understand personally. This is Willow Rush. I don't understand Terra Greninja. You're already Protean. So I guess like you kind of mix things. I don't understand. I just don't understand it actually. Never mind. I don't know. So I think definitely Terra, like any other mod on your team, basically was probably just better. Like I think hell even Gudra or just Iron Valiant, Crobat, maybe not Crobat. Maybe Shaman. Yeah, just a lot of different options you had. Off of leads here, I would like to see Greninja and then probably Caesar. Or no, Palafin. I would like to see Palafin Lantern. I think that is the proper way to start this game. Lantern's really good versus every mon on this team that could be a lead except for Mamoswine. And even if it is Mamoswine, you can just go into Uxie. Instead, we see Uxie versus Zapdos lead, which is interesting. Volt switch here into Caesar is about to happen. So what I don't understand here is why do you click Toxic? So why would you Toxic here? You get it off really early versus the Zapdos. The issue is that you just click Stealth Rock first, and now Typhlosion is hurt. Now Mamoswine is hurt. Now hell, everything is hurt, and nothing wants to pivot in on rocks on this team. You know, I don't care if they're boots or not. Then they that's their job to pivot in. But still, you need to get your rocks up earlier, like when you have a free opportunity here, and not just Toxic. This is weird because the Caesar's faster, and you take 4-8-5, which is okay. And you get your rocks up, which is solid. I just would have liked to see rocks a little bit sooner. The Caesar got to come in for free and get a free 56 on your guy, which isn't really good. We see a knockoff come on off. You lose your lefties and you click foul play. So at first, on my first watch through, I was like, oh, I hate how you just how you were just gonna let Caesar set up, right? Like, what happens if Caesar SDs, dude? That thing is like like it's super hard to kill. Oh, you go Lantern, take fucking 70 from U-turn. Donphan comes out, take 40 from take 35 from U-turn. Head calcs. Iron Valiant dies. Uxie's gonna die. Greninja does not want to take a fucking +2 bullet punch. You know, you get my drift. But yeah, you get a foul play here, so it makes sense that you had a foul play to help with the Caesar. I don't understand why you saved your Uxie and lost your Greninja item for no reason. Like, why? Why do you do that? Why would you not just sack Uxie here for a free hit? Because you ended up just U-turning here, okay? Back into Uxie. Now you're back in with Uxie, but you're not healing anything. Caesar's in, and you go to Future Sight. Future Sight's just not doing a lot in this matchup. Like, it's hitting Chestnut, but that's about it. And you preserve it again, and you just give up more momentum. So now Mamoswine's in, back into Uxie for the sack, and it's going to take the Future Sight. 29 damage. Sure. Greninja comes on in. I would have liked to see an extra sensory on that turn, but we don't. We see... Oh, no, we do see it on this turn. Yeah, we didn't see it last time we saw U-turn. Yeah, extra sensory is huge here, actually. Straight up, you click U-turn here. You just click U-turn. But I don't mind an extra sensory again. I don't mind it. You don't get parried. You know, it's fine. It's just damage on Zapdos. You go into Donphan. Donphan takes 38. Caesar comes on out. Just Earthquake. Oh, no, Knockoff. Yeah, Knockoff is better. Sorry. Now you Earthquake on this turn right here. You Earthquake. Because even if Chestnut comes in, it doesn't matter. Yep, very good damage. 53. That's huge. You just Earthquake again. It doesn't matter if Zapdos comes in. You Earthquake here. But you miss a Rock Slide instead, which wouldn't have killed, I don't think. I really don't think Chestnut dies there. To a non-stab Earthquake. Or not Earthquake. Non-stab Rock Slide that's resisted. I just don't think it dies, honestly. But yeah, you let the Chestnut come right back in, and this Chestnut's going to prove to be a fucking issue. Synthesis up. You went into your Steel type on a Fighting type, which I don't really like very much. Maybe you're predicting the Sap Zipper and you just get an attack boost. But, you know, it's okay. Mamoswine comes on out. You can Acid Armor, Iron Defense, same shit. Earthquake is 42. You just kill this thing right now. Mamoswine is no longer an issue, which is huge. Because now your Gudra is so much better. You're for sure going to live a hit here from Typhlosion, so you just rest it off because it reveals that it is Chesterberry. Live it on fucking 17. Choose that. And back up to pull. And so here you can get another Iron Defense off if you want. I think you just Dragon Pulse. You just get more damage. You don't need any more defense boosts here. So Palafin comes on out. You just Dragon Pulse again. Yep. You click it again. Click it again. There's no reason not to. Nice. 227. So now at this point, I know how this goes. Realistically, this Chestnut is trying to heal up with Synthesis. They want to heal up right now or Drain Punch you. So what you need to do is you need to scout for it first, which is good. You see the Drain Punch, and you Acid Armor again. I don't like Acid Arming again there. You probably should just Dragon Pulse once more, And then on the next turn, on the next Drain Punch, since they're healthy enough, you just go into Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant is going to resist. It's going to live a fucking grass move. It doesn't matter. And then you're a fairy type in versus this. Flash Cannon was a good switch up if you are going to stay in just to get the defense drop. But this is a losing battle for Goodra. Chestnut just has too much recovery. Yep, does 15. Heals up for 7. Flash Cannon does 28. Leftovers plus another 7. Yep, so you're basically netting 10% a turn. And then I can just synthesis it back. So there you go. You do make the play just a little bit later than I would have liked. Here, there's no reason not to click a fairy move. You should just always click Moonblast here. If you're special, which you are. You should just click Moonblast here. There's no reason not to, right? It's stab. It would have just done more damage to the Zapdos. It probably would have... I don't know if it would have killed. Probably not would have killed, but still. It would have been better damage. Lantern comes in. I like Lantern on the switch. So here, you for sure Volt Switch. You can just Volt Switch out for free here. Just Volt Switch. There's no reason to Toxic. Yeah, if you're Toxic... Zapdos isn't staying in. Like, why would Zapdos ever stay in versus Lantern? That was a correct switch out by Viettung. There's no reason not to Scald or, like, Volt Switch there, right? If they stay in and take a Scald and they get burned, well, then boom, then they're burned. That's residual damage for the rest of the turn. We call that passive income. But, yeah, the Lantern, if it just clicks Scald there, it covers the Chestnut switch. It super covers the Typhlosion. It covers the Scizor, and it covers the Palafin. It's just, there's no drawbacks to clicking Scald there. If you get burnt, or if you get Toxic by Zapdos, that's like worst case scenario, but then the game is still fine. If you would have Scalded this here, honestly, the Caesar might have died. Now it gets a Roost off, and you click Scald, you get the burn, I don't remember, no burn, Cold Water. Back in Chestnut, you should Scald it again, look for the burn, which you get this time, very nice. You just get out of here, you cannot stay in, very good, very good. You can go into anybody, I probably still would have went Iron Valiant, right? Like, why would you go into your Steel type again? Your Steel type that proven that it can't beat this thing. So why not go into Iron Valiant and then just click a Fairy move? What Scizor is going to die to a Fairy move on switching now. And if Typhlosion comes in, it's taking Rocks plus a Fairy move, you know? Zapdos does not want to take 2 Fairy moves. So yeah, you should need to click more Fairy moves this whole game. But it's okay. We see the Palafin come on in, I think... on the rest. So this works out really well for Viettung. I wish the replays would show the new form, but it's whatever. You go into Iron Valiant, which is a really risky fucking play versus a Palafin, dude. If this didn't click the Water move, sheesh. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, if it would have just clicked the Water move on that turn, it would have been a really, like, dicey position. It would have been really dicey there. Wow, now it does. It's so weird. There's Zapdos in on the thing. Same play, you should just Scald. Yep, I like the Scald there. You probably could have Volted this time because the Chestnut's already burned, so you could probably just Volt. But Scald, I don't hate it. At that point, since Chestnut's already burned, you should just Volt. But now you should get on out of there. Volt switch out. Yep. Honestly, again, you need to go Iron Valiant more. Now a Spike is up. A Spike is actually really annoying to deal with, and now you're letting the Caesar also heal up. Yeah, you just sack your guy here. Well, I said 30 earlier. No, I should say actually taking 50 from U-turn. Crazy. But yeah, now this Spike just stays up, and Palafin is in. I don't know if I liked going Palafin there. I think you could just went, like, Typhlosion, right? That just baits in, like, Lantern, taking another Spike. Or takes Gren with another Spike. Just better chip. But yeah, Palafin comes on in. And then doubled into Lantern. I don't really understand why you would double there. Your Iron Valiant and Lantern just take extra damage. There's Tailwind. Good Volt Switch. There you go. That's a good Volt Switch. Suian in. Burn a Sleep Turn. That is huge. That is a great play here. Scizor comes on in. Very, very smart. It calls combats to break you down. At this point, you don't switch out of Goodra. You need to keep Goodra here. Scizor kills the Goodra. Very good. Really just well played on both ends. So that was the correct play on both. In this matchup, honestly, I would have preferred you just beat Gooey or Shell Armor. Actually, maybe you were Shell Armor. I would have preferred Gooey in this matchup. Just because there's a lot of, like, momentum and shit. I don't think Sap Sipper does it or Shell Arbor does it. Nearly as much. Sorry. It's 11:40 p.m. But yeah, Scizor's in. Free water move. Free water move. Surf. Kills Typhlosion. Very nice. At this point, they're just going to go Chestnut. You should extra sensory here. No doubt in my mind. You should always extra sensory here. Nice. Yep. Good play. Now you get to know that it's a Terra Normal. And Synthesis comes on out. Now you could probably just leave. Or if you wanted to, since it's a normal type, you could probably just click Water Move, right? Extra Sensory to 21. Water Move probably does about 30, and if it's burned as well, yeah, you're getting really close to killing Chestnut there. And you're, I mean, then the Woodhammer comes on out, so you might have dropped a Woodhammer, but actually, I think Water Move into Woodhammer recoil would have killed the Chestnut. I think. And when Chestnut goes down, then you no longer have to worry about nearly as much. This mod is just really annoying to kill. But you go into your Iron Valiant, and it takes so much damage. You just take a lot of chip here because of the spike as well, and the spike from earlier. Palafin gets sacked here. Drain Punch is very good. Zapdos just gets a free switch in now, or Caesar can come on in. I think personally, I would go Zapdos and Roost. I think, yeah, I would go Zapdos, Roost, and then no, you can't do that. You'd lose the end game. If you would go, you probably just need to go Caesar here, and then force this thing out, which you do, and now you have to make the correct play of roosting. They cannot let Iron Valiant die. If Iron Valiant dies, they lose the game. They can afford Lantern taking a hit, so they're obviously going to go Lantern. So you have to roost here, but unfortunately you make the play incorrect there, and get bullet punched. If Caesar went down there to the Iron Valiant, it would have sucked for sure. Because then you don't really have great ways of killing said Iron Valiant, but you're not in much better position now because you bullet punched, you know? You get your roost off here, but what happens if you get burned? You know, as soon as you get burned, the Caesar is bad. But cold water, you know, we're getting a little lucky here. No Scald Burn there. Greninja comes on out with Zapdos. He gets a free Dark Pulse, which I like for the most part, because now you live the Volt Switch. I would have extra Sensoried here, though, instead. There's a reason I would have extra Sensoried. I don't remember exactly what it was. Bullet Punch just kills. There's a reason earlier I said I would have extra Sensoried. But yeah, Caesar just gets to end the game. What's the reason? I actually don't remember. But yeah, maybe you could have just clicked the Water Move and gotten Zapdos in range, and then... No, I think the game is kind of just lost. I think your game is just kind of lost from here on as soon as this thing doesn't get the burn. If it doesn't get the burn there, you kind of just lose. So, you know, I would say that the turning point for this match, though, of when Skydrag started to lose, was being too timid with your Lantern. When you have a bad mon on your team, you need to make sure it's being utilized to the fullest, because if it's not, it's going to get abused. And Lantern's not a very good Pokemon, so you need to spend your time and actually make sure that it's clicking strong moves. So clicking your Scalds, clicking your Volt Switches, getting you momentum, getting you burns. Toxic just wasn't very good in this match. If you clicked it once and it was right onto a Steel type. If you would have Scalded, hey, another opportunity at Scald. A Scald burn. Viettung just played it well overall. I think Palafin didn't really come in all that much. I think Palafin could have came in more, but this Chestnut was just unreal. This Chestnut was just not killable. I think if you would have just brought, like, maybe, I don't know, like a little bit more offense, more of an offensive team, or like, let me see, your team's over there on the right. Maybe if you brought like Grimmsnarl over like Typhlosion, just to get screens up, and then you don't have to worry about the pivots nearly as much. You could have done that. Or Dragalge. Dragalge would have just been really good here, just clicking Dragon move. Yeah, I think Dragalge would have been really good. But yeah, off rip, I don't like how the Uxie was played, and I don't like how your Lantern was played. Your defensive pieces just weren't played to the greatest. But Viettung played their defensive pieces way too good. So, yep, very well played by Viettung. Moving on, we have Rio versus, this is, hold on. This is Notweirdguy. Bananas and Grape. The Z captains here are, I believe it's Necrozma. Yeah, Necrozma, and it should be Volcarona, right? Yeah, it's Volcarona and Necrozma. Alright, I actually watched this game live. We're gonna go relatively quick through it, though. The leads here, always is Raikou, and then for Rio, I would lead either Chi-Yu or Glacier. And we see Raikou versus Glacier. I think Ditto, I still would have preferred. This is just a really rough start. Thunderbolt Para, I think that Thunderbolt was an awful play too, though, by the way. I don't think that was a good play at all. So you get rewarded, and you get super rewarded. You actually get, I'll show you in a second, but yeah, super rewarded because of the Para. So if you would have just Volt Switched out there and just went into like Feeny, you would have just been fine. So now you Volt Switch out, nice. through 2 moves, you only did like 30 damage or 29 to Glacier. So you're obviously not breaking it with this mod. So you need to be going into other mods. So Weavile comes on in, which I don't even like, because what if you get close combat in here, dude? Or like high horsepower? You're taking like 40. Weavile is not bulky, and this mod is strong as fuck. It's got a lot of attack. And it gets paired again, which sucks. And then you double get into Feeny, which doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. And it's like, okay, whatever, you got a free turn. That Weavile switching was basically a free turn. Very rewarding. Agreed. Steela comes on out. Calm Mind comes on in. Feeny should probably just taunt here to make sure Steela can't Leech Seed. Raikou comes on instead and clicks on Meteor Beam, which I agree with the Raikou switch in here. The thing is, so we'll see a Volt switch. The issue is, like, what are you volting into to a +1 Steela? Feeny? Well, now you're taking unnecessary damage on your Feeny, which is looking really good in the endgame and really needed for Chi-Yu. So you should probably just stay in and just click Thunderbolt, right? Oops. Yeah, if you just stay in and click Thunderbolt, it's going to be in range of, like, Weavile or Volcarona to come and clean it up, right? Your Raikou has already done its job. It has already done its job. It has gotten a para and chip on Glacier, and it's about to kill Steela. Or not kill, it's about to do, like, 70 to Steela, right? Yeah, it's about to do, like, 65 to 70 to Steela, which is really good. But then you take damage on your Feeny. It's like, okay, fuck. Well, I don't want my Feeny to take a bunch of damage. I'm going to switch, right? Go to Volcarona. And your Volcarona gets chipped. Dude, if you would have lost your Volcarona here, you just lose the game. Like, you actually just lose the game. You need to play safer with your win counts. Both of them. This is a Calm Mind Feeny that you revealed way too early, by the way. Way too early. You should not be revealing your win count like that. And you revealed your, and you, like, wanted to sack your Volcarona, basically. If you would have just stayed in that first turn and clicked T-Bolt with Raikou, Raikou would have died, yes. But you would have been able to revenge it with Volcarona. But instead here, we see a Terra into a Dragon type, which is the perfect bring. This was the perfect set of the match. We see a Flamethrower come on out, only 18. Honestly, yeah, you probably should just click the Air Slash there, but it's okay. Yeah, because it did 46. Let's see. It would have done... Okay, it wouldn't have done enough, but it's okay. Air Slash here, it's like the same amount of damage. Yeah, if you did Air Slash into the other one. But yeah, now it just gets to quiver. Okay, now it's quivering. Now it's setting up. Okay, now Steel is dead. Okay, we went through the whole hassle of making our Feeny take chip and our Volcarona almost dying for that. And our Volcarona could just be at more HP. So Ditto comes on in, but Ditto doesn't copy Terrastallized effects, which I didn't know that. It does not copy the Terra type. So now it is a Ditto that is walled by what it turned into. Completely. So now the Ditto starts hitting it. Shiyu comes in, takes 51 from a hit. Dark Pulse, that still does 25 through +2 Spit, which is nuts. That's a really strong Pokemon. But it goes down here. Or no, it doesn't go down here. Sorry. It switches out. Glacier gets sacked. Easy. You know, unfortunately, it's dead. +2, +2, +2. Ditto comes back in. You just Quiver Dance again. So does the Ditto. Oh, it's not Scarf Ditto. Interesting. Okay, so Ditto takes 51. That's a lot, but Ditto can't do enough back. And she's just going to get Flamethrower down. So yeah, the Volcarona kind of just sits in. We're going to skip through the game. It kills the Ditto here with a crit. It didn't really matter. This crit does not matter at all. The Volcarona was just going to go through it anyways. Yeah, Quavel can't do anything. It's a Dragon type that's way too fast. Giga Drain and dies. Necro comes in, Terrastallizes into a Rock type. Takes 82. Doesn't click Power Gem, but like it wasn't going to kill anyways because it's a Dragon. Then Giga Drains down, and then the last one comes in, and Shiyu. And that is a 6-0 victory on the Volk end. I am not happy with this game. I am not happy. First of all, I don't like seeing 6-0s. I don't like 6-0s very much unless I'm doing them. Because I think then I feel cool about it. But I don't like seeing people get washed. I like seeing better games. But don't take this in the wrong way. But I think you did not play well. But you did get lucky enough that... not lucky, I guess... I just don't think either player played this game great. Rio let this Volcarona set up way too fast in front of the Steela. Just let it set up. You weren't breaking through it. As soon as it Terrastallized into a Dragon, you knew you were not breaking through it. You needed to switch into something else to deal with it. Perhaps Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu probably could have done it. But that being said, that was the biggest issue. Unfortunate about the Glacier. Glacier could have gotten more chip. I hate how you played your Feeny. I don't think Calm Mining there was the play, nor going into it on the Steela was the play. I think if you would have just Thunderbolted with Raikou, you would have been in a so much better position, a lot cleaner of a win, because then your Volcarona comes in at full HP and can set up on the Steela instead. And then you would have had a hidden Calm Mind Feeny in the back in case Volcarona didn't win. But yeah, at the end of the day, you won 6-0. It was just a rough matchup for the Volcarona. It was a great Terrasilize into Dragon, won you the game. If that wasn't like Terra Dragon, I don't think this game would have been... this game definitely would not have ended like this. That being said, we're going to move on. This is... Oh my god, I tried saying this name last time. Hold on. Okay, so this is Josh, right? This is, this is Board Josh, whose Terra is Hawlucha, which is cool. Okay, this is, Hematemesis. This is with the Mew. This is Bolivia. Yeah, Bolivia named Hematemesis. Tough name. I struggled with it last time as well. Again, I apologize with names. I don't fucking know. They're hard. Just looking at it right now, there's not a lot of offense on Josh's team. There is Zoroark. There's Hawlucha. Maybe Celebi. You could be offensive Celebi. But, like, Milotic's not offensive, Skarmory's hella defensive, and Screamtail has 0 offense. So, in terms of lead, I probably would have just liked to see the Zoroark lead and a Mew lead. Personally, that's what I would have done. I think Mew is just a solid lead overall, and you just go Zoroark to capitalize. Instead, we see... Okay, I've got a lot of shit to talk about this game. Okay, so we see Skarmory and Weezing as leads, and for some reason... The Skarmory cooks Drill Peck. I don't know what you're trying to hit here. Why are you Drill Pecking? This Weezing has a crazy regular defense stat, you know. So like, and it also has Fire Blast and Thunderbolt and Thunder and Flamethrower. So it can hit you with 4 different fucking coverage moves and Will-O-Wisp you if it wants to. But like, you're lucky that you didn't just take 50 here, you know. Instead we see the Weezing click. I think T-Spikes. Yeah, it clicks T-Spikes, which are okay. You know, they're solid. Just get chip on everything. Sure. Makes sense. You're healing up. Drill Peck again. Why are you Drill Pecking? What are you doing? Like, what is this doing? You're giving this Weezing 3 turns. Now you're burned. Now you're really not doing any damage. Now you're doing 10. Oh my gosh. Now you get your defog off, you know, solid. But T-Spikes are right back up. Now, in this situation, with Weezing, you can permanently click T-Spikes. Because you are not going to get broken down. You are going to take 4% per turn. 4% per turn. You're going to burn the Skarmory down, and they have to keep defogging. They have 23. You have more T-Spikes. You just keep clicking T-Spike here. Instead, you go Mew, which is fine. This is a Stallbreaker Mew, I believe, which is still solid. You know, you click your Taunt here. Oh, you click Block. Actually, I forgot about this. Block, Taunt, and the Screamtail dies. Yeah, Screamtail's dead. We're just going to go through that. Screamtail dies. It was, you know, well played. You know, it's kind of a flow chart. You know, you beat it down. When you get it half health, you heal up. When taunt ends, you taunt it. You know, it's actually just a flowchart with Mew there. So I hate this play. I'm sorry. I hate this play personally. I'm sorry if I'm very negative about this game, but I do think this game has a lot to learn. A lot more you can learn about this game. So when you see a Hawlucha, a fighting type that cannot break a Stallbreaker Mew, switch in, and you know it's the Terra type, I wonder what they're gonna do. They're going to just Terra into a Dark type. So that is a solid play to expect the Terra. Maybe you predicted it was Terra Bug, and it was a U-turn, right? Maybe. Benefit of the doubt, and you went to Crocodile. The issue is that Hawlucha's Dark move is Throat Chop, which is exceptionally strong versus the Torch Song Skeledirge. You lose a whole stab. So I have issues with Hawlucha just coming in as the Mon here. To revenge, I think Zoroark Harsuian should have came in instead. For sure, 100%, and click the Ghost move. There's no Ghost Resist on this team. 100% you need to be getting your Zoroark in ASAP. You already lost a Mon, and your Skarmory is already basically dead. Instead, you go Hawlucha, and you click Throat Chop. Yeah, it does a lot of damage, sure. I would have liked to see a Brave Bird here. Because it kills everything, and it hits Comfey out as well in the switch-in. Your Life Orb, you Throat Chop again, it works out. Sure, that's fine. Now, why did Weezing come in? Comfey can come in and just like bully the Hawlucha, you know? Like Hawlucha gets bullied to all hell by Comfey. Even if you Brave Bird Life Orb, it's not killing Comfey. And Comfey gets to heal it all back up, and you take Life Orb. And it's actually faster than you. Weezing's fine. You know, Weezing does not want to take a huge hit though either. So I'm fine with that switch out into Celebi mostly. It's just the fact that you went your grass type versus the poison type. So you've got Sludge there. You're not in a great spot. T-Spikes come on up. So I don't like T-Spikes here very much. The most they're doing, so they're not really hurting the defense of the team. Milo, Marvel Scale. Doesn't really matter. Skarmory's flying. Celebi has Nat Cure. Zoroark, it doesn't really care because it just wants to click moves and be offensive. It's not like needing the bulk. And Hawlucha's dark type now, so it does get affected. So it's mainly Hawlucha. Anyways, we see a Protect here and a Psychic. Very good. Yeah, you just click Psychic again, to be honest. I would just click it once more. Doesn't matter. There's Mew. Yep, it's okay. You get a little bit of damage, whatever. You get on out of there. So you go into the Hawlucha here, right? And we know this is Hawlucha, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we know this is Hawlucha because it was already lowered on HP and Mold Breaker triggers. So, again, Throat Chop is pretty obvious here, right? Here, I would actually go Weezing. I'll be honest with you. I would go Weezing here just because we're at full HP, and we would live the hit pretty well. That hit 39, so yeah, Brave Bird would have done about half. It would have done about half, but look how much damage Hawlucha was going to take it. Would have taken. You don't need Weezing in this matchup for anything but this man right here. So if your Weezing goes down to do Brave Bird chip, Poison, and Life Orb chip to the Lucha and just put it into range of one Comfey hit, Weezing did his job. It doesn't matter. Hawlucha's now at 46. Skarm comes in. Doesn't really matter. Good Sludge Wave. Or Sludge Bomb. I like that play. We see a Defog coming out and Toxic Spikes. Sure. You're getting burned down. You're healing. Like I said earlier, you just click T-Spikes here. There's no reason to overpredict though. Like, what are you overpredicting into, right? Into Celebi? You have Mew, right? You don't really worry about Celebi right now. So Celebi comes on in. We see T-Spikes come on out. Protect, and we see Energy Ball. Okay, word. Normal. Just normal Celebi shit. We switch on out. Back into tier. And now Celebi comes back in, gets poisoned. Sure. It cannot get blocked. So I believe that literally just tells you that it's Zor Kasuian, because I don't think ghost types can be trapped in any way. There's no conceivable way for a ghost type to be trapped. I think. Unless maybe Spirit Shackle does it, but I know it can't be trapped by other ways. Actually, wait, no. No, it can get trapped by, like, Whirlpool, can't it? I don't even know. But whatever. It failed. Okay, sure. So Excadrill comes on out, and it clicks Agility. I don't even think Celebi... I don't know if a Celebi has Agility. So you kind of need to be, oh, maybe this is Zoroark. You need to be ready for this to be Zoroark. Click Shadow Ball. Okay. At this point, it is for sure Zoroark, and it reveals itself. I don't even mind the Excadrill play there, even if you're just playing it safe. That is 34 damage plus poison for this turn and the next turn. Shadow Ball there. I don't know why you're preserving Excadrill. What is it doing here? It's getting walled by Milo. Cool. Okay. It's kind of beating Celebi. If it gets chipped down a little bit more, it's not being Celebi. It's not being Skarmory. So, I mean, Skarmory is useless here anyways. And it's losing to Hawlucha. So I don't know why we preserved it there. We probably could have just stayed in, but it works out. Because Comfey... Oh, wait, Comfey clicked U-turn there. I hate that turn. Dude, like, okay, Draft League player click U-turn. This is the epitome of it. Why would you U-turn here? Like, what, Skarmory comes in? Dude, you just go right back into Mew. It doesn't matter. Like, what's it going to do to you? Or you go right back into Weezing. Now, instead, your Comfey is so low. I hate how low your Comfey is. But, Mew's in, and I don't think Mew has to switch out anymore. I think Mew just wins the game. Weezing comes in on the Swords Dance, which is fine. Again, this thing needs to click like Brave Bird. Cook's Throat Chop doesn't kill. You just kill it here now. And it dies. Very good. Easy sack of Weezing. Celebi's in. You just sack it off. Very good. Now you go back into Mew. Yep. You just stay in here, and you just click Taunt, and you just click Seismic Toss till the game ends. And that is exactly what happens. This Mew was played perfectly. I like this Mew a lot. Back again. This is very annoying. Sorry. Give me a second. All right, cool, nice. But yeah, this meet was played really well. I think Josh, you needed I think it just came down to prep and jump back. Don't bring jump back ever again, please. There's no reason. Just if you need a flying move, just click Brave Bird, right? Or just not drill back. I don't even know if it has Brave Bird. Just don't click drill back. You don't need it. You just don't. Do not. Yeah, sorry, it's still the hiccups. It's so weird that it happened both times. I think it's because of how much I'm talking and how fast I'm talking. I'm trying to get through this. I want to post this ASAP, and there's one more replay. So, oh my god. I apologize. Okay. Feedback. Because I'd like to give that without just shitting on you guys the whole time. I'm sorry if that's what it came across as. It was all set up so I could just talk about feedback. So, I think the Skarmory, it was okay. It just, I don't, I think the only Pokemon, the only two good mons you brought was Zoroark and Lucha. I like those sets. Those were good sets. Overall. Very, very, very solid sets. So, you need to capitalize on those better. You need to get them in. You need to start cooking moves. If you see no ghost resist, you say, I am a ghost type. We're gonna kill something. I don't even care if it reveals your illusion. It doesn't matter. This thing is fast. It's like 105 speed, and it has a ghost type. It's Mismagius, but then with more coverage. Maybe not more coverage, but like good coverage and a secondary stab. So, yeah, I think that needs to happen more. I think you played your Skarmory really lazily. I think you just kind of you kept staying in versus Weezing, a mon that definitely beats Skarmory. Nope. Like, literally a set that can't touch it beats it. Because you don't have many more roosts left. So, yeah, I think, Josh, I think you just need to prioritize. Here's my homework for you for week 2. Make a game plan. This was not a game plan. You led Skarmory and you kind of just started clicking moves. Have a game plan. Okay. I want to lead Skarmory and I want to get spikes up. Because spikes will put Pokemon in closer range for my Hawlucha and my Hisuian Zoroark. Okay. Screamtail is here as just a secondary bulky mon. Also, oh wait, I completely forgot to say this, dude. Next fucking time you play it with Screamtail, dude, look at the speed. Put some speed into that bitch. Stallbreaker Mew isn't just bulky Mew, it's fast bulky Mew. Just be fast and bulky, right? You wouldn't have got taunted. Maybe if you had baton pass, you would just pre-passed out, you know? Definitely invest speed into your Screamtail next time. The only thing scarier than bulky mons are fast bulky mons. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm sorry, I didn't really talk about your end very much, Bolivia. I think you needed to play a bit better with your Comfey. And kind of just like think, this is the Terra Captain. What can it Terra into that hits my Mew? A Bug for X-Scissor and a Dark for Chop. Both of those are resisted by Comfey alongside one of its normal stabs, right? So just go Comfey next time. Then you also scare it out because you priority hit it. And you get to see it set. I just think you could have played your Comfey better. I think your Comfey was easily your worst mon that you brought, even over your Skeletors that didn't get to click a move. The reason your Skeletors didn't get to click a move is because you didn't go Comfey. So, yeah, Komodo WinCon in the back. I can't say anything about it, but yeah, overall, you know, I would just make sure you weigh all options before you make a move. Your Mew literally carried this whole game. Very well played. And last but not least, we have Ludiking versus Bowser. I believe that in chat, I believe it's Lucas. This is Lucas. Yeah, Lucas. Yes, Lucas. Got it. I just pulled it up. Yeah, we are. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pause while I try to get rid of these for a second. I am so sorry, guys. I get really bad hiccups and they hurt like a bitch. So give me a sec. Okay, hopefully that's better now. All right, here we go. The final match is between Bowser and Lucas. We will be checking out their tier caps right now. I believe it's, oh yeah, it's funny. It's both Oladies. I just remembered them now. It's both Oladies. Um, for leads here, just in a preview, I actually started with this game last time, so it's actually the one I remember the least amount of. But I do remember saying I do like Thundy in this matchup a lot. The electric resist, are Zero Aura plus Ting Lu. I guess also Latios, but like none of those really want to be taken Thunderbolts except for or Thunderbolt plus coverage move. None of them really want to be taking that. So I think Thundy is great to clean the matchup, and then also having Sneasler to break shit down. I don't like Melmetal very much personally versus Tinglu, Cerulege, Gzeb, Zero Aura, and Latios. I don't think it matches up well versus most of them. But teach their own. This Lottie could be anything. And then on Bowser's end, I really like Cerulege the most here. I think if Cerulege gets to come in often, it'll be claiming kills often. Um, and so I think that's just really important for Cerulege to come in. I think also same thing with GZAP. The flying resist is Melmetal, so it's not going to be enjoying it. Leads, I would like to see a lead of probably just Sneasler because it's fast, and then a lead of Zero Aura because it's fast, probably. That's what I'm thinking right now. But yeah, let's get into it. We see Sylveon GZAP. It's fine. GZAP just gets on out of here. You don't want to risk the Sylveon. Just go into Corviknight. Very cool. So we know that Corviknight is Mirror Armor immediately because both of the other abilities trigger off rip. So it's here in order to take Mystical Fires and lower the special attack of the Sylveon. Sylveon just does 21. Heals on up. Right into Thundy. Huge. I don't know if I like Iron Heading there though, personally. I think Iron Heading's fine. Like it would be good damage onto Sylveon. But like what if there's just too many switch-ins that they have for free to come and deal with it. I think just getting in like a U-turn or something like that, or just like getting into Cerulege because Cerulege resists both Fairy and the fire. Actually, just immune to fire, but I think it's weak armor anyways. But yeah, I would have just liked to see Cerulege come on in because again, it just claims something here. But instead, we see Thundy coming in on Ironhead. Tinglu comes on out. That's fine. Big U-turn, big 18. Manaphy comes on in. Manaphy is solid here. I don't really like Manaphy as a mon. I think it's just too weak to do anything. Um, but this matchup, it's called, I think it binks the burn. No, it doesn't. Whirlwind. Okay, I'm tired. I'm gonna say it right now, guys. I don't think Whirlwind's a good move on the Moose. I just don't think so. Like, it's solid because, you're hazard setting and then you're whirlwinding things through them. The issue is that in a very, very like offensive dominated meta, you can't be given free moves to Pokemon because you're gonna get chipped down too fast. This is a different like style of game now. We are too offensive at this point. So, you need to start be clicking your like ground move. Or maybe not, yeah. I mean, if you're staying in, you need to click a ground move here. And just start chipping down the Manaphy because you don't have the best like ways of chipping it down for your Cerulege. Like you have Zero Aura, or like you have GZAP, but you have to take chip on those guys in the first place. If you're gonna take chip, you better be doing something with it. Perhaps you're expecting Tail Glow, but even if it is Tail Glow, what does that do versus Zero Aura? There's no like Z Rain Dance. It's not getting faster. And Earthquake would have broke a sub, so I think you definitely should Earthquake here if you're staying in. Melmetal comes on out. You could just Earthquake here, but you get Spikes up. I actually like that. I like to play Spikes a lot. We see Reflect come on out. Spikes again. So here, get your third freaking set of Spikes up. Why would you get rocks? Why are you getting rocks here? Like, you should be getting your third. 2 layers of spikes is so. 2 layers of spikes and rocks is not nearly as good as 3 layers of spikes when you're just doing 25 to mons that like you don't want to like break down very much. You can break down Lottie fine. Like you're not struggling with Lottie because you have Cerulege, you have your own Lottie, and you have a Zero Aura. Thundy is just not like the fastest mon, so you'll be able to chip it down again. Cerulege, with Sneak, and then Latios, and then Tingaloo. I do think you need to be getting your third spike up there. Because now, instead of clicking spikes again, you click Whirlwind. And it just brings out the Melmetal. And now you're in a terrible fucking spot. Terrible spot. And what do you do here? You should be clicking Whirlwind again, right? Like I don't think it would Iron Double Bash you. It could, but it's probably just gonna body press you. Like at that point, if you're going Corviknight, then you're in a pretty rough spot. But instead it Iron Defenses, and you're in the worst spot possible. like there's a reason. I guess it got whirlwind into so. But still, you need to be scouting for these kind of sets. These kind of like defensive Melmetal sets. When you don't know what Melmetal is, you need to figure it out ASAP because if this thing is AV, then you know how to beat it. If it's not AV and you play like it's AV, then and it's banded, you're just gonna lose them on. You know. But instead, it is a body press. It gets body press for no damage, 8 damage actually. Wow. And then Thunderwave. So now it is getting double Iron Bashed, Thunderwave down. So now you're losing your Corviknight for free. It's actually for the cost of a little bit, a couple double Iron Bashes. Pressure would have been great there. So Tinglu's back in. So you switched out of Tinglu earlier to go Corviknight, and now you're back into Tinglu again. Why not just stay Tinglu, right? Maybe you want to reset your toxic turns, but like again, you need to be prioritizing hitting this thing, chipping it down. Earthquake was great there. Double Iron Bash, you're gonna heal up a little bit, and you're barely gonna live. And I don't know why you do this. Why do you whirlwind here? Why do you whirlwind there? That doesn't make sense. Why do you not just like finish it up and hit this thing again and guarantee that it's in range of another mon, right? Just hit it. You're not gonna kill it. So, so now Latios comes in, which is fine. Perhaps you're just trying to set up, which is what you're doing. But like, what I don't understand from Lucas over here is why do you not Thunderwave this thing, right? If it's in, why are you not just Thunderwaving it? And once it's Thunderwave, this mod immediately loses to its own, like it loses to Latias. It's gonna be much worse with Thundy. It super loses to Sneasler. Thunder like paralyzing this thing immediately is a threat neutralized and a lot easier. If it was Lumberry, well then I mean unfortunate, but you're still gonna have Sneasler in the back. Double Iron Bash is good. It's just I think it would have been better to get a pair on that thing. You lose your guy, but that's okay. Sneasler comes on in, close combat, and it drops. Huge. And it is a white herb close combat. I was not ready for this when I was watching it personally. I think this is a really cool set because now it's unburdened, so now it's actually faster than Zeraora. And the only thing that's hitting it is Cerulege's sneaks. And this one's very strong. So Dire Claw, I didn't even know that fucking thing could do that. Is it like a random status? I think it's just a random status move. Uh, but yeah, that sucks. That does really suck. It ends the game actually. Assuming that it didn't do that, right? Say it just got like a poison, right? And then you click Brave Bird and kill the Sneasler. Probably. I still don't know if you're beating the Latias, depending on the terror type of the Lati. I don't know it personally. If it's like if it's a terror that can beat Cerulege, then you probably just lose. But still, that really does suck, and the game ends because now a Sword Stance and everything is in range of Dire Claw. Dire Claw plus fighting move. There's the close combat. I think you probably should have just dire clawed there, to be honest. I think it would have killed. Okay, there you go. 50% to sleep, poison, or paralyze. You know, it got unlucky. I'm sorry, Bowser. I can't really say anything. It's not your fault. It's not your fault to get slept there. It just you got put to sleep, I guess. Um, yeah, it's surely unfortunate, but yeah, Sneasler just close combat. If I think Dire Claw might have just killed there because you're +2. So you probably should have done that so you're not +1 defense. Now Cerulege comes in and clicks Sneak. Dire Claw comes on out, does 59 defense boost, but Sneak will kill here, and all it takes is 1 mana fee. Click, and the game ends. Yeah. So alright. Let me I kinda like stopped talking. I stopped like understanding what I was saying there. It's just when it's a commentator mind, it's one. It's 12:15 and I'm an hour and 48 minutes into this fucking video. But we're done. We are done. So criticizing Bowser, and Lucas over here. Overall, I don't like how you played your Corviknight or your Tinglu. Those are like the bulk of your early game. I think you need to get your offense in sooner. You were just on the back foot the entire time. I think getting your third spike up with Tinglu would have been really helpful too. Obviously, in this end game, it wouldn't have mattered all that much. But I think just clicking Earthquake with Tinglu versus Melmetal was definitely like better because then you're just chipping it down low enough that your G-Zap can just come in and you never have to let your Corviknight come in. Your Corviknight would never have to come and check this Melmetal. And then you have like a backup mon for Sneasler. Hopefully you don't get put to sleep, but then you have a backup mon for Sneasler and for Sylveon, you know? Hell, even Manaphy. This was Manaphy is just not a good Pokemon. But that being said, I think that was your biggest issue. That and getting put to sleep. Um, you said over here that you won if you SD'd. Well, I mean, you should SD'd then, I guess. I don't know what to say. Uh, you gotta identify your only win con, and you should have. I guess that was your only like way of doing it. Um, would have been that. But yeah, for Lucas, your end, I just like how you played. I don't like Manaphy, but I think you played it really well. I think you just overall played like out of this week, I would say you played the second best. I think you did get a little bit bailed with their Sneasler, but that's okay. Sneasler was guaranteed killing. It guaranteed killed the one, right? No, it actually didn't even guarantee kill one, because there's the Dire Claw, right? And you put him to sleep. Yeah, I mean the Sneasler, it could have been better. Sneasler basically trades for GZAP here, which is fine because like you don't need it anymore. Like you don't have to worry about it killing the Latios. You don't have to worry about hitting the Tinglu or the Core of Night. Now you're just now you're fine. Uh, for Bowser, or versus Bowser, I think probably could have got Thundian a bit more, but again, I think you just played it fine. There's no like big issues here. You got in with what you needed to. You didn't bring out your Latias early, which is good because it's obviously a win con in the back with the Terrestrialize. This Melmetal set was great. Again, I do think that it shouldn't have done as much as it did with like see the reflect is down here. Yeah, like you just click Earthquake for 20 damage, right? Double Iron Bash, and then you click it again. Like if you would have clicked it again here, the Melmetal is just lower, right? But now Latios comes in, and then now you're setting up on it. But dude, it's already revealed Thunderwave, right? This is the one turn I hated the most on Luda or Lucas. I don't like the Thunderwave. I don't like not Thunderwaving the Latios here, but it's okay. You got about 50% on it, and it got revenged anyways. For Bowser, I think that another Earthquake into Ceruledge would have been good, or into GZAP, either one of them. I think Ceruledge, though, I think you need to get this mon in more. This mon didn't come in until, like, actually the game was over. So, but like you said, maybe you just won if you, like, depending on the Terror type at the end. Maybe you just won the game. Yeah, that would have been sick if you did. Well, what do you have won? Because, like, as long as this thing tears into something that's not weak to Shadow Ball, or Shadow Claw, or fuck Shadow Sneak. I don't think you won still. I still don't think so. As long as it tears into anything that's not Ghost weak, you know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do, but again, I think not thunder waving this thing was an issue. I think going into this thing was an issue. I think Bowser maybe could just dust off the boots a little bit and just get your offense in a little bit more often than you did overall. But that being said, that is the final replay. I have re-recorded. There's been audio this entire time. There has not been music this entire time, but there has been audio. So we are going to wrap it up there. Thank you guys very much for watching. I don't know if I'm gonna do this every week because I'm going back to school, and it's kind of hard to just to find 2 hours out of my day to watch replays and talk about them, especially because I have a roommate. So I don't. And again, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to be doing this, but if I do, I will do them. I will. I don't think I'm gonna do them for other divisions because I'm gonna be I'm gonna be blunt here. I think I don't think that the divisions above me want to listen to somebody that's in a division lower than them, and I don't think the people in my I mean people in my division want to hear it, but like at the end of the day, I don't think I don't really I don't know. Ah, I just don't really want to do more than one division, and I think I could help out a little bit more by giving feedback to a lower division than I could my own. Even if I do feel like I'm under placed, but it is what it is. I'm just put back where I was before a couple seasons ago when I played for 3 games. But it is what it is. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great season. I will probably get the next week too. I will probably do week 2. Don't don't hope on it though. But yeah, this time it has audio. See you guys later.